Hey guys, how about some comfy weekend reading, huh? So, some of you might be looking at this video and you might be thinking to yourselves, hey, what kind of Sailor Moon books are these? And some of you might be looking at this video like, I remember the first five, what the heck is going on with the sixth one? Well, these are different Sailor Moon fan books, and let me get in a little closer here. The first five, you may recall seeing in stores when you were much younger, if you are an old school Sailor Moon fan. Originally, these were released in Japan, and Mix / Tokyo Pop, they released these in English. There's one other version out there, I don't have it yet. It came with some copies of the edited Sailor Moon R movie, and it was like a sampler of these 5 books. Now, in Japan and in America, that's all there were outside of that sampler book, just the 5 books, Moon, Mercury, Jupiter, Mars, and Venus. But in Germany, they had an entire extra series of these that were a little bit different. These fan books had Tuxedo Mask, Helios, Chibiusa, Queen Nehelenia, or Neferania, depending on your spelling, the Starlights, Chibi Chibi, just a whole mess of characters. So I figured today we would go over some of these books for those of you who haven't seen them before, or for those of you who just don't know that Germany had like a lot more of these books. Mars was the first one that was released, and as you can tell, I did a lot of reading of this one. So, these books were initially intended to get you ready for Sailor Moon Super S, which, when they came out in America, was still quite a ways off. Because they started coming out in America right when, at the time, we were just about to get Sailor Moon S on Toonami. Each of these books, let me adjust myself here, there we go. Each of these books start off by giving you a rundown of how the girls got their superpowers, and pictures of their transformations and each of their attacks. Some really great stuff here if you haven't seen it. Let me grab that book, there we go. Ah, my sparkly pillows, they're so slippery. You get a lot of really great artwork from the anime, and then after a while the books become sort of third person, where the book talks to you as the character, like this one here talks to us as Rei. We get a rundown of that character's favorite episodes, and we get a rundown of who are their friends, who are their best friends. We get a spot back here with, like, you know, what's your favorite food, what's your favorite color. Goes really in depth with each of the girls. And then in the back, we get some song lyrics and some poetry set to really beautiful artwork. And we get like a couple of glimpses here and there into Super S, but not too much. If I remember, I think Venus was the next one that was released. Oh yeah, we also get some ads in the back for Saint Tail. And if you've read that manga, let me know what you thought of it, because I only saw a blurb of it. There's an ad here for Cardcaptor Sakura on Kids WB. This was before we had the CW network. Oh my god, once upon a time. With Venus, this one was pretty cool because they did have a little bit with Codename Sailor V, but not a whole lot. You kind of have to go digging for it. But it was also cool too, because at the time, the ADV uncensored DVDs hadn't come out yet, so we actually got glimpses of some of the episodes that were cut out, which, you know, you can watch them right now on Hulu, or on Viz Media's website, or on Yahoo View, or if you're in Canada, Tubi TV. Yeah, here we go. Like, there's a whole section here that goes into one of the episodes Deke had dropped. And again, this was like one of the first instances where they acknowledged the episode because it hadn't aired on TV yet, or ever, and we weren't going to get the uncensored DVD for a while. So I thought that was cool. Oh yeah, I should mention too, each of these books has like metallic silver foil, except for Sailor Moon, who has prismatic foil because she's Sailor Moon, bitches. Let's see, then there was Jupiter. They sort of released these books out of order. I remember them being a little on the pricey side when they came out. They were like, I have one that was $12 and one that was $14. And back then, at the turn of the new millennium, that was a lot for a book this thin. I mean, just looking at these are thin books. But so much creative information here. Then Mercury came out. And this was neat too because, again, Super S was just about to hit television, but we didn't have the names for any of the outers. So this was like one of the first instances where Hotaru was actually acknowledged as Hotaru. And like, in these books, like, they tried to mix the Deke names with the original Japanese names. So Ami is called Amy here, and on one page she's Amy Anderson, and another she's Amy Mizuno, which is great because in the Deke version she's Amy Anderson, in the Cloverway version she's Amy Mizuno, and in the Japanese version she's Ami Mizuno, so it was like a little hybrid there. But even though they were using Deke names, they didn't have any of the Cloverway names. So Haruka and Michiru and Setsuna and Hotaru, their names were left the hell alone. It was really cool. Because, like I said, we didn't know what their names were going to be. We didn't know that Haruka was going to be Amara, Michiru would be Michelle, Setsuna would be Trista. We didn't know that. So this was cool. And then, of course, there's Sailor Moon, and her book is a little more extensive than the other girls because, well, she's Sailor Moon. She's got more powers. I mean, that's just non-negotiable. Ron Lockett. Ron Lockett. Man, they really didn't know how to draw her locket, did they? But yeah, her book is a little bit thicker. You know, plus she kind of goes through more. I mean, she's the Moon Princess. She's Neo Queen Serenity in the future. And, oh yeah, she has a kid. And it's interesting, too, because in the middle, like, the other 4 books have a picture with that girl and Usagi. And in this one, instead, there's a picture of her with Mamoru. So I thought that was nice. Man, she goes through an awful lot, doesn't she? Okay, so now we're going to look at the German books. And like I said, these are different. So the first 5, they had a lot of in-depth information, favorite colors, astrology, that sort of thing for each character. The Germans, they didn't have that much information for each of the characters, so they made do with what they could. These were released through Diamond Distributors. And Diamond actually releases an awful lot of stuff here in the United States, including some Sailor Moon stuff. They mostly cater to comic books in the United States. In Germany, you were more likely to find Diamond just about everywhere. Now, like I said, they didn't do a whole lot of in-depth information in the German books, so what they did was like season and episode recaps. So in each of the books, they would take a couple of episodes at random, pardon me, and they would do like little recaps of them, and then include stuff on the character of that book, and this one is supposed to be Tuxedo Mask. And by the way, almost nobody has seen this, so like, I wanted to share this. The German books have some exclusive art that we didn't get, ever. So I thought I would share that. But of course, I want to make it clear too that there were some instances of issues, because, like, where the hell is her collar? Where's her choker? You got so close! So close. But this is pretty cool seeing Princess Serenity with Tuxedo Mask like that. With a pink moon crystal. Wait a minute, doesn't Chibiusa have a pink moon crystal in the manga? Wrong crystal! Oh well, it justifies the toys. Does anybody remember the old toys that came out? I still have mine. I have the Bandai North America version of the Moonstick, or the Crescent Moon Wand as it was called back in the day. Here we have sort of an overview of Mamoru's entire character. And oh yeah, here's another thing about the German books. They spoil an awful lot more than these books. Like, these books spoiled a little bit of S and gave you a sneak peek taste of Super S. This flat out tells you, oh, by the way, you know how, like, Alan and Anne are a problem right here? Well, forget about them, because this is what happens near the end of the series. Like, they just had no bones about this whatsoever. That's another cool image. Ah, they put the staple on Mars. That's what you get for being a bully. She was so mean in the first season. And then later on in the book, it gets a little bit different, where it gets a little more personal to you, the reader, rather than to the characters. Let's see, let me skip ahead some. Yeah, here we go, the special section. So here, they'll teach you origami. In this issue, they teach you how to make a paper rose. And that's what it should look like if you do it right. So each one teaches you, like, arts and crafts. There's some out there that give you recipes. And then here there's like a little quiz. And this is a used book, so whoever got this book before me, they already answered the questions. Then you get a horoscope in each of the German books. I guess because they were releasing these monthly, so you get like a monthly horoscope, so you get to see what your horoscope would have been in the mid-90s. I'm a Scorpio, in case this comes up. And then it also gives you a preview into the next fan book. So it's quite a bit different from the other ones. There, I put his two girlfriends there. There we are. This is the first time I've gotten to see any of the German books. I know there's some websites that have scans of them out there, but I am planning to try and track down the others, specifically the Chibiusa books and the Helios book. So I'm hoping that in a future video, maybe I'll have some more information, but for right now, this will pretty well do it. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.